If we are you able to hear me?
Yes. I just realized that I had not turned the live thing, so that's why I'm just turning that. Oh. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So thinking this way.
Yeah.
Thinking this way, we will be able to prevent the mind from becoming a victim of negative sentiment. Similarly, mind separates God when we get attached to a friend or relative. If we train our mind to see that God is seated in that person, then each time when our mind wanders, we'll think that Lord Krishna is seated in that person, and thus I'm getting this attraction. In this way, our mind will continue to retain its devotional absorption in the Supreme Lord. So this is what a small thing that I mean, it came to my mind. So I thought I'll just immediately after the class, I think in 5-10 minutes, I think I sent it to you before I could.
Yes.
So I thought I will just share with you. So
thank you very much, Meena. That's beautiful. I mean, that is true reflection on reflection on the shlokas. And this, the more and more we do it, the more and more it becomes part of our own psyche, and that's where you see the transformation within ourselves. And this knowledge is just so priceless. The amount of time we spent on this is really the best way for us to bring the change within ourselves. So thank you.
Meena, are you the same Meena who came for Tirupugal last week?
Why?
Same Meena? Oh, you look different. Okay.
I do?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for all your, I mean, these knowledge and all we gained only by listening to so much of your lectures and the presentation that you give. I think we are trying to increase our knowledge by all your presentations and the quotes and other things that you give. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I have to thank all of you for really bearing with me and giving me this opportunity to do this reflection. Really, I cannot tell you. I think the benefit that I get is 100 times more than possibly what you might be getting. I think because of all of you, I force myself to take the time to do it. Otherwise, I'll get caught up in all this university work that I'm doing. So thank you for to all of you.
Thank you, Sunitha. We appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. It's benefit for us too.
Thanks a lot.
In spite of your busy schedule and all that, you find some time of yours for giving this excellent class.
This is the most important thing. This is really the most important thing, actually. This helps me to, I guess, contribute better, and it helps you to really see the bigger picture. That is the most beautiful thing about this whole Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Each and everything and so because of this, you can see wherever you look at, right, you find some quote which is connected to it, which in 2 lines, great masters in 2 lines will be able to say so much more than what we try to elaborate on, So let's move on. Today, we just chant from Shloka number 25.
Hariam Sunitaji, I have one comment about that Shloka.
Please do.
Can I do that, or you don't have time?
Yes, you can.
So this Shloka, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati Tasmaham Na Pranashyami Sacha Me Ne Pranashyati. So this Shloka, when I read the meaning of that Shloka, I see 2 angles basically in that. See, it is easy to see everything as a Lord in that. It's very easy to say, but when it comes practically, like for example, considering a dog with animal with human being, seeing everything practically, it becomes very difficult. So for myself, to make it a little easier, I bring 2 angles. One angle is the non-dual angle. Behind all of this, there is one reality, which is Brahman. So if we remove the form and name, what left with everything is Brahman. So everything is Brahman. So there is a non-dual angle. I bring it to bring that understanding in my mind. And the second thing, what I do, if I dualistic angle, if I want to bring it, so what I think of is, okay, everything is part of God. So everything we should see as a same, as a similar way or same way without any discrimination. That's what I generally try to do.
It's
Just
actually more or less the
wanted
same.
to share.
And it's actually more or less the same, I think. What I said and what you said, I think more or less what you said is the same as what I said also. Right, Sunitha ji?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Amlan is just taking it from both the sides.
Yes.
That's the only thing. It's not.
I think we lost her, I think.
Yeah, we lost her.
Yeah, I think she'll be back soon.
Meena, great job of expressing your thoughts. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Geeta.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
That too, you wrote immediately after Sunitha. Sorry, Sunitha is back.
Yes.
Sunitha, we lost you for a minute.
I know. Correct, correct. There were twice that I got lost. But the good thing is you're all together. That is important. That's more important.
We are all together in Zoom.
Yes. So I've kept my door open. Let us see if that will help. Let me see if I can. Yeah, my hotspot is on. But anyway, I'll just pray that I don't lose internet. Okay. All right. Let's. Yeah, please go ahead.
If you have a cable, that will help you. If you are directly connected, then you don't have to worry about losing anything.
Cable connected to internet, you mean?
Yeah, cable
to the computer.
Yeah. Then you don't even lose it. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have the.
Okay, I will look into that one. Or like I said, next time I'll make sure I connect it directly to my phone hotspot. Okay, so let's get going. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Ata Shashto Dhyayaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Shanai Shanai Ruparame Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstam Mana Kritva Nakinchidapi Chintayet Yato Yato Nischarati Manaschanchalamastiram Tatastato Niyam Yaitat Atmanyeva Vasham Nayet Prashanta Manasam Hyenam Yoginam Sukhamuttamam Upaiti Shanta Rajasam Brahma Bhutama Kalmasham Yunjan Nevam Sadatmanam Yogata Kalmashaha Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham Atyantam Sukham Ashnute Sarva Bhutastamatmanam Sarva Bhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati Tasyaham na pranashyami Sachame na pranashyati Sarva Bhutastitam Yomam Bhajatye Katvamastitaha Sarvatha Vartamanopi Sayogi Mai Vartate Atma Upamyena Sarvatra Samam Pashyati Yorjuna Sukham va yadi va dukkham Sayogi Paramo Mataha. So here in this shloka, we had talked about, what is really the benefit, the true benefit of what meditation gives us. And here we talked about, the fact that our entire personality has the opportunity to undergo a great transformation. And how does that happen? Truly not by, we put a tremendous amount of effort for our work, for so many other things. But here, the only thing that Krishna says you need to do is change your attitude. So it is just purely attitudinal changes, if you will. And what is that change in attitude? The change in attitude is, at all this time, I was thinking that, this person is bothering me, this noise is bothering me, or say this internet, keeps dropping all the time, that is bothering me. Small things. It's amazing if I look at, how we lead our lives. There are either small things that keeps bothering me, or small things that gives me happiness. That's how we look at it. But this one, basically is just trying to say about how at the end of the day, it is not any of that, but the world does not disturb me. And by having this notion that ultimately the world is not the reason for my problems, then slowly, my goals and my own priorities then start to change. So that's the beauty about what this knowledge really gives you at the end of the day, So with this shloka of 32, then you see that literally the whole teaching of meditation itself, is now gets completed. So, and then you see that, Arjuna, this is when the first set of questions that Arjuna then asks. He starts with this, of course, this doubt of, I really can understand what you're saying, that all this knowledge is going to give me this calm mind, is going to make me look at the whole world in an equal way. And especially the shloka number 30 that, Meena and Amran contributed, which is, I'll be able to see the whole world and I'll be able to be equanimous and everything. But then his question comes to is, how can I really remain established in this meditative state? Because I know myself, Arjuna is becoming very, what should I say? He's becoming very self-aware. He says, I know me, I know that my mind is not there yet. And it is really restless. So tell me, Krishna, then how am I going to deal with this? It just, he keeps coming back again and then again to how this restless mind needs to be handled. And so that is why here he says, yoyam yogastvaya proktaha samyena madhusudana etasyaham na pranashyami chanchalatvat sthitim stiram. So samyena, the word samyena is important here, where he says, ultimately, I know that it is my mind, that is my biggest obstacle. And there is just something that I definitely need to keep control of. And that is when in Shloka 34, Arjuna, he's not sure that Krishna really heard him right. So he emphasizes that again about really how this mind is disturbing him. And he brings about, literally four qualities. He says, first, this mind is extremely turbulent. It goes ups and downs and its own thing, which again, going back to what disturbs our mind, what makes me go away from tranquility is basically the fact that the mind keeps jumping. I know, as I think Meenu pointed out last time, it is like this monkey, it keeps going up when it finds whatever, the fruits or whatever, and it keeps coming down. It's trying to play all the time, restless. And then it is extremely strong, balavat. And then pramati is, of course, the turbulent. Chanchalam is restless. And it is completely unyielding. I mean, I can do anything I want to control it, but it just doesn't seem to be in my control. And here he compares it to a very strong wind, like a tornadoes or whatever. It's that strong. We don't feel it because we are so much part of it. And this is the thing which at some point we have to discuss also is we don't even realize that we are being taken away by the mind. We are just not, we get so angry or things like that, which is ultimately the mind has created the situation because of which I get angry at things. I get frustrated. I don't even know that. I'm so much part of that whole change that it's hard for me to step back and look at my own self, where my mind has taken me away from, taken me away in that any situation that I'm part of, right? So that's why Arjuna is like, emphasizing this nature of the mind by using such strong words and trying to tell Krishna that, I really need again an answer. So that's why Krishna then comes back. And of course, Krishna feels that Arjuna is a very, very smart, intelligent, A+ student. And he just gives him two simple solutions, And the two solutions he says is, it's just at the end of the day, it's nothing but practice, abhyasa, and vairagya. So he definitely first agrees, he says, yes, I really agree that this is a very difficult thing for you, but I can also tell you that the only way to do this is by being this practice and being extremely vigilant and trying to make sure that you understand two things. Abhyasa is, like we said, practice, but vairagya is very important because one has to intelligently detach ourselves from the situation in which I'm in, or detach myself from what I'm trying to do. But both goes together. So when I do more abhyasa with the understanding, I can actually create more sense of detachment. And when I do more detachment, then my practice becomes more and more thorough. So that's why both of them go together. I mean, as I was thinking more about it, I said, okay, this is how it should work. Otherwise, if I just say abhyasa and then vairagya, that by itself will not be enough. It has to, each one feeds into each other, and thereby, we move forward. And then going on to shloka number 36, now you see that asamshayatmana yogaha dushprapa iti me matihi vashyatmana tu yatata shakyo vaptum ayogataha. Krishna says the two things, which is, so ultimately when a person practices both of them together, then it is definitely possible for somebody to move forward. And that's why he uses this very nice word, upayataha, intelligently. That's the key word. Second. So intelligently, one has to use these two things. It's not by just somebody has told me that I need to fast and therefore I'm fasting. No, I need to truly understand why I'm fasting. So vairagya, which is nothing but dispassion, and where you instill certain practices in order to bring that vairagya, can happen only when it is done very intelligently. So that is why he says one with an uncontrolled
think we lost her again.
We can only, and this is the amazing part of it sometimes. Yeah, Geeta?
We lost you for the past 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. So actually, you know what, I was observing Meenu. As Meenu was bobbing her head up and down, I knew that I was making sense. But suddenly when I see something frozen, then I mean, if somebody doesn't move at all on the screen, then I realize, okay, I lost. I lost you guys, you know. So basically what I was trying to say here is ultimately the word upaya. Upaya is very important. Upaya indicating that somebody who is very intelligently using this knowledge. And what does it mean being intelligent here is to really be able to recognize that I have a mind. You know, how do I know even that I have a mind? The only way we can do it is actually by sitting and observing myself. And when I'm closing my eyes and I see that different thoughts are going through my mind, and I'm able to see the thoughts, you know, when I'm able to observe my thoughts, then I can say that there is something called as a mind, which is working behind in order to observe this world or the entire world. Everything is happening. If I can get to that level of even understanding that I have a mind, then this word, this shloka really makes sense, you know, where then I know that I can control the mind and I can do a lot of things. But asamshayatma, one with an uncontrolled mind, which is the person doesn't even recognize that there is something else that is controlling him or her. So in the next shloka now, the 37, 38, 39, which we're going to do today, you see where Krishna then answers Arjuna's very, very simplistic question, but very profound and very practical question. I mean, it's amazing how in our Shastras, questioning something was a very, very important aspect, extremely important. And I don't know how we got into a state, I would say perhaps in the last, not now, I remember from maybe my father's generation or something, where finally, you know, you were told that you're not supposed to ask questions to your elders. Who said that? You know, nobody ever said that. Here, I mean, of course, you the thing that is always said is you have to be respectful, you know, but being respectful and not answering questions, not asking questions, that's not what it was meant. Being respectful and asking questions to somebody, respecting that person's knowledge, that is what was always encouraged. And therefore you see in this next shloka where Arjuna is basically asking Krishna a question, what I mentioned earlier, which is, how do I know that all this time that I'm spending in this journey of transformation is really leading me to somewhere? What if suddenly, you know, let's say a very simplistic scenario, I'm trying my best to say, let's forget about the mind. Let's think about, I'm trying to lose weight. You know, I'm putting my efforts into losing my weight. And I know that the first, you know, New Year comes, I make my resolution. And the first month, I really work hard and I've lost 5 pounds or whatever. By February, my work situation takes over. And I'm not able to spend the time on this weight loss. So I start gaining weight. Now, does that mean that I'm not capable of losing weight at all? You know, what is that? What does it say? So should I just give up all this? And you know what? Most of us, we get into that scenario. We say, you know, this is why I don't want to do any resolution, no new New Year resolutions, right? But the point that Krishna is, so let's take this in the case of what Arjuna is asking about his mind, So Arjuna is asking Krishna about, well, you're telling me that if I do all this, I can really understand my purpose, my goal as to what I'm supposed to do. And how do I know that is true? How do I know that if I lose it, if one time I don't practice any of this, won't I just lose everything? And that is what this yoga brashta. Yoga brashta is a person who, having spent a lot of effort, will he really recoup the benefits of his meditation, of the thing that he's doing to transform his mind? So Arjuna is asking, Ayati shraddhayo petaha, Ayati shraddhayo petaha, yogaschalita manasaha, yogaschalita manasaha, aprapya yoga samsiddhim, aprapya yoga samsiddhim, kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Kam gatim Krishna gacchati. So he's saying, unable to control myself, though having faith, whose mind wanders away from yoga, and not having attained perfection yoga, to what end does he go, O Krishna? So that's the meaning of the shloka. Now let us try to understand, of course, deeper what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, okay, Krishna, I understand. You're telling me that I have to do all this. And I also, with complete faith in you, I'm trying to do all this. But guess what? I am trying to do everything. I have the faith, but my mind is not doing what I wanted to do. I think there's a Christian saying, right? The spirit is weak, but the mind wants, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but the body is trying to do everything, but the mind is not cooperating. There is no cooperation. So does that mean that I will never, ever get to my goal? That's what he's saying. To what, so Ayati, this unsuccessful seeker, even though he has faith, and he's not able to get to where you're telling me to go. So what do I do? So that's his question. So then in Shloka 38, again, Arjuna wants to make sure that Krishna really heard his question. So he then asks him again, he's trying to put a thing saying that, okay, now I may spend all this time on this meditation and everything, but am I losing out on something else? You're telling me to come and sit in this Bhagavad Gita class at this time, but I would rather really go and see something on Netflix, for example. Am I losing out on that? So on one hand, so I'm neither here nor there, So I think in Hindi, there is a saying which is, Dhobi ka kutta na ghar gaya, na ghat gaya. This is talking about actually this.
Dhobi ka kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka.
What is that?
Dhobi ka kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka.
Na ghat ka. Correct. Not gaya. Sorry. Na ghar ka na ghat gaya. So can you, Amlan, can you translate that?
It is basically it is not part of any of that.
Right. So it's Dhobi, who's a Dhobi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to this ghat, right, to do his work, but then he neither does that, nor is he able to go home. Correct, Amlan?
Yeah. He cannot do either of them, basically.
Right. So, Meenu, you...
he cannot do, or he ends up not doing both.
Yeah, he doesn't belong any of
that.
Here or there.
Yeah.
So neither did he do his work, nor he stayed home. He didn't do both. That's what it means.
Exactly. So he's neither able to do his work well, nor is he able to go home and enjoy his family.
Okay.
So
It is like putting both the legs on one boat and you're going, similar kind of thing. Like one person trying to put put two legs in two different boats.
Oh,
like fickle-minded, right, Amala?
correct. It is.
Is it
being
like
fickle.
fickle-minded? Yeah.
In Tamil,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
say
yeah.
rendengatta manasu, right?
either this nor that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like for example, you want to read Bhagavad Gita, then you think, oh, I should have read that storybook. And when you go to read that storybook, oh, instead of wasting my time, I should read Bhagavad Gita. None of them you are doing basically.
Exactly. Exactly. So, he's asking that question here, which is Kaschin no bhaya vibrashtaha. Kaschin no bhaya vibrashtaha. Chinnam chinnad brahmi. Sorry, chinnad brahmiva nashyati. Chinnad brahmiva nashyati. Apratishto mahabaho. Apratishto mahabaho. Vimudho brahmanah pati. Vimudho brahmanah pati. Kaschinno bhaya vibhrashtaha. Chinnad brahmiva nashyati. Apratishto mahabaho. Vimudho brahmanah pati. So he's trying to say, so neither did I get this, Krishna, the benefits from doing the meditation, nor am I able to really enjoy the other worldly things that I could have enjoyed. Then am I not? So he gives this example of a rent cloud. And I have a picture in my next slide just to give you that thing of, what is a rent cloud. But basically, he's trying to say that, I have not benefited from both things. So what do I do? That's the part that he's asking,
But he has not done that yet, right? He has not done both the activities yet. Am I right?
Yes.
Is he asking the question before?
Yes, before. He's asking before itself. I mean,
Okay.
this is literally, isn't this a classic question that your kids also would have asked you, when they are small? Mom, why do I need to go to school? What is it going to get me? Can I not just stay at home and play my video games or something like that, So neither are you letting me, play my video games and I get my enjoyment out of it. And if I go to school, what is that really going to get me? So we are always in this, as Meena put it, what is it? Ikatana nilayam, which is neither here nor there. That's the part. It's neither here nor there. We are always in this neither here nor there situation, So that's Arjuna's question here. So Swami Chinmayananda, actually, in his commentary, he gives this beautiful example of really what is a rent cloud. And basically, it is, you see these clouds coming in, and the clouds, they come, and after some time, the bigger ones, they just move on. But there is a small clouds which just still lingers around. And you think, you look at these clouds and you think, is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? And they just give you that false notion of that it is going to, that it wants to rain, but it doesn't rain. It just stays there. And then after some time, it just goes away, So that's the cloud which is called as a rent cloud. Now, I don't know why it is called RENT, rent cloud, but that's the term which is, was given here. And that's what Arjuna is using that as an example. It's like the rent cloud, which is just hovering around, not knowing whether it should rain today or not rain, So it's those smaller clouds, which, and one can come up, of course, with a number of examples for this. But at the end of the day, the idea is the mind is just not sthiram. We have to find a way to make it firm, Most of the time, it is always going between two things, and it's just unable to focus. So the question then is, how do I make it focused? And that's a very practical question that Arjuna is asking Krishna. And he follows up with just the last one in this set. And today I just wanted to cover the shlokas of Arjuna before Krishna again gives his answer to what Arjuna is asking. So he says, literally, Arjuna is sort of giving up a little bit. He says, Etan me samshayam Krishna, Etan me samshayam Krishna, Chetum arhasi sheshataha, Chetum arhasi sheshataha, Tvadanya samshayasyasya, Tvadanya samshayasyasya, Chetana hyupapadyate, Chetana hyupapadyate. So he says, Krishna, you have to get rid of this doubt, what I have. This is like the biggest worry that I have, that if I get into all this, will I really benefit from this teachings that you're saying? So you have to do it once for all. What I really, I need this. And there is, the good thing is he recognizes that only Krishna will be able to help him, which itself is a great thing, right? Because his mind can also, for many of us, that is the other thing, is we may be listening to a certain advice from somebody, but then the question always comes, how do I know that this advice is right for me? So let me go and ask, the second opinion. We go to a second opinion, not just for our health, but for even simple kind of advices. But here, Arjuna is very convinced that Krishna is going to give him the advice that he wants, so which itself, like I said, is the best thing. For he says, for other than you, there is none who's capable of removing this doubt from me. So that sort of completes this set of 3 shlokas. And any questions or any thoughts do you want to discuss here? Really, what other kind of doubts do we have? Because next few shlokas, which Krishna says
I
is
have
good.
a question.
Yeah, please.
So the other day you said 4 obstacles for meditation. The first one was laya, which is sleepiness of mind. The second was vikshapat, overactive mind. And third one was kashya, inactivity. I didn't understand the last one, the fourth one. Rasabya. Can you elaborate that?
Rasavadaha. Yeah, Rasavadaha, yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely. So basically, if you look at it, when even let's take a very simple example, and then I'll come to how it relates to meditation. Our mind gets very easily satisfied with small pleasures, and if you look at for all of us, as an evolution of our evolution of mankind, there are some people, you just give them, say, a simple chocolate or whatever. I'm just giving, this is a very simple thing, a small candy, they are happy and they will not progress beyond that. For some other people, candy is not enough. I need something much more, a much better dessert or whatever. So they might really take the time to, find maybe the gulab jamun or whatever, that kind of thing. But there'll be somebody else who may say, you know what, I just don't want this gulab jamun. I want something, even a gulab jamun, which is made in this particular shop. So this is how we kind of grow in our pleasure-seeking things. Now, in meditation also, the same things. The first 3 of them, of course, we can understand how laya or sleepiness can be an obstacle, impurities of a mind can be an obstacle, and overactivity can be an obstacle. But meditation, even in meditation, what happens is sometimes I sit for meditation and then I find that my mind becomes very very quiet. And I feel that, okay, I've achieved my purpose of meditation. So Rasaswadaha is the simple pleasure that I get in the beginning of meditation. I latch on to it and I think, wow, I got it. I'm okay with this. And I just stay at that point. I don't push my mind further into getting to deeper levels of meditation. So that can be an obstacle to going deeper in meditation.
Okay.
So that is what I meant by Rasaswadaha, is the simple, don't stop at just getting the simple benefit of a meditation, because that meditation will make your mind quiet. It will be a pleasurable experience also, but move beyond that.
Okay.
Won't that transition be automatic? When we go to that level,
No.
don't you wish to go to the next level automatically, or no?
No, in order to get to the next level, then what happens is, that means not without trying to be very judgmental about it, but a lot of the meditation apps which are coming out, again, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but if you listen to, say, the Headspace meditation, okay, in a Headspace meditation, they will actually, it's a guided meditation, in the beginning at least. I haven't heard the later ones. They will continuously keep on talking, and putting you to a state where your mind is not available for silence, where you are doing some effort on your own to, when I say effort, also the word has to be carefully understood. You're not really putting effort. Basically, you're not allowing the mind to silence on its own, or the mind to dissolve on its own. Instead, in Headspace meditation, there's constant guidance which is given. And all these are very important. Believe me, I'm not trying to put anything down here. We need a lot of them in the beginning stage. But then we have to go beyond that. So Rasaswada is something like that. You get the pleasure out of meditation in the beginning, but don't stop at that point. Go beyond it. So in that sense, it's an obstacle to meditation. That's what the four things really mean. That is what the fourth thing really meant.
I think this is a very important thing you're talking. I think all these four things what you describe, they look like a progressive kind of step. Like the last one, probably the PhD level, the first one, probably the elementary level problem. Mm-hmm. So in the PhD level, when you come and then our mind become peaceful and we started enjoying it. So then Rasaswada is something like we get enjoyment and we get attached to that and we get stuck there. So that's what we break that and we have to get out of that.
Exactly. Don't get stuck. But again, Amran, this is the catch-22 situation. How do I get out of it? And that's what Geeta's question is, how do I then go to the next? The only way you can get to the next level is, again, through Shravanam. I need to have more amount of knowledge to understand that this is only an obstacle. So, like, for example, if I had not pointed this out, you may think, oh, yeah, great. I think I've achieved the level of meditation, what I want,
Yeah.
And they say that after one stage of meditation, you do get some siddhis and all this. So you have to be very careful not to get stuck in them, go above and beyond.
Exactly. So that's also a very important point, Meenu. As we do meditation, what happens is one does get a lot of powers, yogic powers. It is absolutely true. It is well demonstrated. You even have the power of reading somebody's mind. Okay. And that is also very well known. As you improve yourself, you can access those things. But even that is an obstacle to moving forward. So many people get stuck at all these things. Some people want that powers of reading other people's mind and they might tend to exploit it. There are also aspects of hypnosis. You can hypnotize somebody those powers can also be obtained through meditation. But here, as I pointed out in one of the shlokas, our goal is not any of this. Our goal is truly to understand my infinite nature. And if I want to learn myself as infinite nature, I need to go beyond all these siddhis.
Or get the knowledge of that infinite meditation.
Correct. That's why knowledge is the key. Meditation, in fact, in the true sense of the word, one doesn't have to get into meditation at all, but spend more and more amount of time in acquiring the knowledge. One needs to, of course, practice concentration, practice focus, for which one has to sit down, of course, and focus on a mantra, japa, and all these methods are needed so that my knowledge I can study better, I can understand things better, all that is needed. But the true meditation can come towards the end.
Like Gita ji is asking about that question, right, to you, how we can get out. Like 3-4 years back, similar question I asked to Sharda auntie. We talked about 3 gunas, right? Tamas, Rajas, and Sataguna. And then our goal is to go beyond Sataguna. Then I was telling her that how I can, suppose I can, by my effort, I can go and stay there at Sataguna, but what is the guarantee that I will get out of that Sataguna and I go beyond that? Then she said that you have to continuously try to be in that state, and then with the help of God's mercy, you will be pulled up. That's what she said. I think similar thing kind of get fit into this also.
Yeah,
I think if we first try to overcome these first 3 obstacles that you said, the Laya and then the last one, the Rashavada, it should be a little bit easier compared. I mean, that's what I feel. What do you think?
True, but along with that, knowledge is probably the biggest driver. All the others are mechanical things, like sleep. How can we avoid sleepiness rather? The only way we can avoid sleepiness is making sure I have my 8 hours of sleep before I get into meditation, right? So those are all the mechanical stuff. The second thing is Vikshepa, overactive mind. I just reduce the number of things I do every day, slowing down. Slowing down, we keep talking about. I need to slow down. So that's the second one. The third one is impurities of the mind. Yeah, so I need to always be in satsang. Again, these are mechanical stuff, but beyond all this is that Shravanam. Shravanam is very important. Listening to knowledge, listening to, because that's the only way that our mind can be purified. Mind can listen to things.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Let me stop the live stream.